Today, we are really happy to welcome a special guest who are just now sitting next to me. Handy Charles Highfield is the president and the founder of the Tortoise Trust in the UK. He come for the first time to visit Senegal and visit our different facility and our project, and we are so delighted to welcome Andy and Bev Highfield here in Senegal.
Well, thank you very much. I'm really pleased to be here, Thomas, and see all of the work that you're doing and get a really good overview of the many problems that the tortoises and the turtles and other wildlife, face here in Senegal, which, as we know, is very similar to the problems that they face in many other parts of the world. So although each country is different and has some unique problems, we still see the same trends, the same issues arising again and again and again wherever you go in the world.
Yeah. Andy, that is the first time you come in Senegal, and maybe most of our followers in social media and don't know about the Tortoise Trust. Can you explain who you are and what is the Tortoise Trust?
Sure. The Tortoise Trust began back in the 1980s, so we've been around quite a long time. And we started off with a background in biology and also in keeping some of these animals as pets, but moving on then to rescue cases and working with zoos and with the wildlife enforcement agencies. And our main focus down the years has been education. So we've always tried to do original research and then present that not only in some academic papers, which, to be honest, a lot of people never see, but also trying to reach to the public and the wider audience. And so we have done many lectures. We have run courses. In fact, we started the world's first online education course for tortoise and turtle keeping and rescue more than 20 years ago, and we've still got updated versions of that. So we're very active in education and trying to teach people about the biology of tortoises and turtles and how they are involved in and interact with the highly specialized environments that we find them in.
Yeah, wonderful. Wonderful. We are really, as I told you before, we are really happy to have you here and to just kind of give an exposure to what we are doing here alone in the dark continent, as we say. And my second question is what I know you, one of your main goals is to see the condition of Sulcara tortoise. Yeah. And can you tell us a little bit more about your...
Yeah. Well, my own special interest for very, very many years has been in the arid habitat species. So although I have worked with tropical tortoises, when I say tropical, I mean really tropical tortoises, redfoot tortoises, yellowfoot tortoises in South and Central America, tortoises, the giant tortoises in the Galapagos and other places, the ones that I've always been most interested in myself have been the arid habitat species, mainly around the Mediterranean, where I actually live now, because I live in southern Spain and I've spent the past 15 years studying Testudo graeca. But I've also very interested in, say, leopard tortoises. I've been to South Africa, studied them there, and I did once encounter, many years ago, sulcata, but that was in Mauritania and it was a very brief period. But I didn't have a lot of the technology for recording data that we now have. So we can now get fantastic information using, you know, tracking systems. We can do things with very detailed temperature and humidity that previously we just had to rely on a notebook and thermometers, but now we've got all these kind of very clever electronic things, and we can monitor things very close detail. So this is a good opportunity to have a look at some of those habitats and see what the environments are like, the microclimates and so on.
Yeah, that is just wonderful, because I think in the near future, all these tools can be helpful for conservation, because conservation need always to go with knowledge.
Yes.
You cannot protect something you don't know. That's why I always say conservation is not something we should take apart. And I'm pretty sure you agree with me to this point of view. That is something who get involved with different specialty, different other specialty, in order to understand more, know more the species we wanna protect. You cannot protect a species done where your knowledge are limited. So then, the more and more we know more about the sulcata, the condition of sulcata, and why this habitat, this tortoise managed to live in the habitat, will help a lot significantly to emphasize conservation.
Absolutely, it's very critical. One of the big problems, and this is an issue which has become more and more over the past 10 years or so, is that now there's so much social media going on, and quite a lot of the information that you see from people many thousands of kilometers away that have never been to any of these habitats is they have some quite strange ideas sometimes about what they're really like. So this can impact the welfare of those animals when they have them in captivity, because they're not necessarily providing the correct conditions for them. But also it has, as you say, very important implications when we're trying to do active conservation work, because if you are breeding tortoises, for example, for reintroduction, you've got to get those conditions right. You can't go by guesswork or wrong information. So it's really important to have accurate, objective measurements and information, and we can use that technical knowledge then to guide how we care for those animals when we are planning things such as reintroductions.
Yeah.
Yeah.